to be the greatest country in the world. And it is worth fighting for. It is worth bleeding for. And if it takes it, it's worth dying for the greatest country that this world has ever seen.
What up, what up, what up, America? We are here. Sorry for the 3-minute late start. I think overall, Royce did a good job. We had a Rumble connection problem, and he worked the problem.
I say we blame it on Royce. Yep.
I say,
You probably
know
should.
what?
Blame it on Royce.
Yeah, all right. So, what's going on, America? Good morning. Make sure to do us a favor and hit that like button. The more you hit the like button, the more people see this video. That's kind of how the algorithms work. Also, if this is your first time watching, make sure to hit the follow button. We do so love to welcome new members of the Dear America family every single day. And also make sure to share this far and wide. All right. Do the Democrats have buyer's remorse with Kamala Harris? It's starting to look that way. The polls are not showing well in her favor, but this is not time to let off the gas. We've got them against the ropes. We are 2 weeks to the day, 2 weeks away from saving the country. Now is the time to lay the haymakers and go for the TKO. Do you believe that Trump is on his way to not just a victory, to a landslide victory in 2024, 2 weeks from now? Comment yes or no in the chat. Let me know what you think. I love to hear your opinions, as long as there's not stupid ones. And anyone who says that there's no such thing as a dumb question or a dumb opinion, yes, there is. Absolutely, there are dumb questions, and absolutely there are
Those
stupid
people saying
opinions.
that might be the dumb ones.
They are the stupid opinions. Yeah, exactly. I don't think any question is stupid. You're the one asking dumb questions. All right, either way, let's introduce everyone that is here in the studio today. Ladies and gentlemen, Hurricane Helene survivor, diversity, equity, inclusion, higher. Salsa maker that is fire.
Ooh.
Not Mexican Cartel Tony.
I don't. Every time you introduce me, I'm like, all right, what's he gonna say now? Like, what? Your brain working there is just like, all right, what? Can
I got
say?
it that time,
Yeah,
though.
you
I did it again.
Yeah,
All right, everybody. And of course, I have beard. Slim Shady's illegitimate child. Producer Royce is in the building today.
Yo, what's up? What's up? Oh, for sure.
Life, especially when he's in his 50s. No real man has that.
No.
Everybody's favorite redneck hot seat Todd is not here today. He woke up this morning not feeling well and was going to the doctor today. So we wish Todd to feel better.
It's because I sent him some of that fire salsa that you just mentioned, and yep,
And his tum-tum did
Yep, his
not do
tum-tum
well
did not do well,
with that. Anyway, so it is us three today. So suck it up and deal with it. No, we're here. We're going to have a good time. We got a lot of things to talk about.
Someone said even the beard still has a baby face. What the heck, guys?
What?
My beard.
Oh, yeah. If I were to shave my beard off, I easily will drop 10 years, like legitimately. No, I know so, because during COVID, I was messing around. You know, there were no barbershops open, so I buzzed my head, and then I was trying to trim my beard down, and I sneezed. And when I sneezed, I like down the side. And I was like, well, there's nothing you can do except just
How did you have an unexpected sneeze coming? Sneezes don't just, they build up, you know? Like if
Mine
you're shaving,
don't. Ask Tony. I'll just be sitting there and I'll say, ah, like that. It'll just,
you got that classic
Yeah,
dad sneeze, right? Where it rocks the earth.
Graham
for a
has the
second.
loudest sneezes I've ever heard in my life.
Dude,
He's
I
like-
had to.
He's
no,
like,
Did you say cacao when he sneezed?
this is a true story, and I know that everybody on here is like, what the crap is going on? But this needs to be talked about. 5 years ago, I had to retrain myself how to sneeze correctly. So apparently I was sneezing wrong.
Doing that.
Okay, no, hold on. So my entire life, everybody was like, yeah, when you sneeze, you like cough at the same time. You like that or whatever. Dude, I was going all here. Like my mouth would be closed and I'd be, and I was just all right here.
Yeah, I hold it. I try to hold it, and apparently
Okay.
that's not healthy.
Well, what I did was I ended up like creating like a hairline fracture in my freaking, I don't know what this is called. Your
Jugular?
No, whatever this, the windpipe or whatever.
Esophagus.
Your esophagus?
Your esophagus. Thank you very much. And I couldn't swallow things for like 3 weeks. It was the most pain I've ever been in my entire life. And dude, I've met people that have broke their neck sneezing. And I was like, never again, buddy. I'm retraining myself how to sneeze. And so now, whenever I got to sneeze, I don't hold that crap in it. Like just whatever.
Even in public?
Yeah.
Dang, that's crazy.
And anyway,
I don't think I've ever heard anybody sneezing the wrong way.
Apparently I did, because everybody would tell me, yeah, I kind
wrong,
of.
Graham.
No, everybody else would tell me like when they sneeze, they kind of sneeze through their mouth as well, or like like.
I've
cough
never heard anybody tell me that, nor do I think that I do that.
at the same time. And anyway, I was keeping it all right here, like closing my mouth and like that.
Someone said it's the hyoid bone.
Yeah, there you go. See, they know what I'm talking about. And anyway, dude, it sucked. It was horrifically painful. And it was during COVID. And so you can't go to the doctor. They're like, oh, yeah, you hurt yourself sneezing. You've got COVID and just want to come in here. And they wouldn't let you in. And anyway, so I retaught myself how to sneeze. So back to the original point, Royce, doubter, is I was trimming the line here with no guard on, and I sneezed. And like right down. So I had to buzz the whole thing off. And I'll never forget Anna Grace. This was 5 years ago. She was 6.5, something like that. She walked in, she saw me, and her eyes got like this, and she said, "Put it back." It's just put it back.
Put it back.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. Trip down memory lane. Hope you enjoyed that. All right, let's move on with some stuff here. But before we do that, we got to talk about our first sponsor today, and that is Patriot Mobile. Ladies and gentlemen, we have seen the left's attack on Christianity. We've seen Kamala Harris kick Christians out of their rallies. So why do you continue to give money to organizations that are donating to Kamala Harris? It's time for you to go to a Christian cell phone company, and that's patriotmobile.com/Graham. With the promo code Graham, you'll get a free month the second that you sign up. They have this amazing Patriot Mobile One technology with dual towers. So if you go somewhere, the AT&T towers aren't working, it switches to Verizon and vice versa. They have also partnered with Unplug to give you the Up phone, which is the most privacy you can have whilst still being able to make cell phone calls. So what are you waiting for? Go to patriotmobile.com/Graham. Get a free month off when you use the promo code Graham. That's patriotmobile.com/Graham, promo code Graham. All right. Let's get this going. Somebody said "put it back" is the best kid quote of all time. Yeah, pretty much. All right. First up is lesbian Mark Cuban, or as we call her, Markella. This is him saying that the reason that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden let in over 10 million illegal immigrants is because her heart was too big. You can't make it up. Let's just play transitioning Mark Cuban here. Here we go.
So when it comes to criminalizing and not criminalizing crossing the border, I mean, that is just so stark, but you view that as an evolution.
Yeah, I mean, look, here's my opinion. I'm not speaking for the campaign with this.
Yeah.
I thought their hearts were too big when Joe came into office, that they didn't know how many people would cross the border, and it got away from them. But they figured it out. They learned. And what did they do? He put together an executive order, and now the number of border crossings is down to where they were under Trump, maybe a little lower. She says she's going to sign the border bill, which is very clear where she stands now. But let me tell you, Aaron, the most important thing that has not been discussed, Donald Trump and Kamala both have said when it comes to illegals that are in the country that have violated the law, that are criminals, they're going to deport them. Donald Trump hasn't said what he's going to do to deport anybody else.
Hold on.
So when it comes to criminalizing and not...
Pause. Okay, he said two things. Illegals that commit crimes, they're going to deport them. They're illegal. Aliens! They're illegal. They've already committed a crime. Literally. The second poop, hop over the line illegally, crime. Send them back. And then you also hear what he said. He let the quiet part slip out loud. He hasn't addressed deporting Americans that create crimes, that do crimes. What? What are you talking about? What about you? I'm sure you're flawless. But either way, I love that he said that both of them said that they're going to deport illegal aliens that commit crimes. How can you have the word illegal in front of immigrant without there being a crime involved with that? You are, in fact, in total, already a criminal. You're a criminal. Just call them criminal aliens. Let's stop illegal.
I'm pretty sure the Democrats have forgotten what the definition of criminal or illegal is, because they just don't care. All of the Democrat cities, everything that they're doing, everybody on the street that you talk to about illegal immigrants are like, oh, well, I saw a video one time where some Trump guy was like, if Kamala wins, he said, if Trump loses, I'm going to move out of the country and this and that. And they were like, oh, well, you think the country would accept you? He's trying to make the point, like an illegal immigrant, right? Because that's your biggest problem. And he's like, I'm not going to do it illegally.
Yeah.
And because they just ignore the fact that it's illegal, meaning it's against the law. If you want to come in here legally, do so. If you're going to come here illegally, how in the world is a political party that is for Americans going to allow that? It is illegal. They're invading at that point.
Yeah.
And they just forget the term.
I think that's one of the stupidest things I've ever heard Mark Cuban say, because
he's a billionaire is beyond me.
He said they have too big of hearts, and that they didn't know how many illegal immigrants were going to come through the country when they did that. And
then after they figured it out, they're like, oh.
I mean, what did they think was going to happen? You open up the floodgates to the greatest country in the world, and they think just a few people were going to come in? I mean, come on.
Yeah, but what have they done? They've done nothing. I don't want to spend all day on this because he's a moron. But anyway, I found that hysterical. One, their hearts were too big. And then both Trump and Harris have said they're going to deport illegal immigrants that do crimes. But they already have done crimes because they're illegal immigrantes. How do you say immigrant in Spanish?
Inmigrantes.
I was close. Immigrantes. I said immigrantes. You said immigrantes.
No. That's
what did you say? What did you say?
Immigrantes.
Immigrantes.
That's not what you said.
Wrong,
you said
totally
immigratos or something. I don't know what you said.
So
you sounded like you were saying something from Harry Potter, like immigratos. I don't know what you said.
Immigrantos. All right, that's how you deport them. That's what the
Democrats are doing. Immigrantos, and it makes them legal.
Immigrantos. All right. Either way. All right. Let's move on. All right. This is crap. What is this? I can't even remember. Oh.
Voila.
So yesterday, Donald Trump posted I guess a hyper-realistic image of him as a Pittsburgh Steeler, which I'm not going to lie. If this was the 1980s, late 70s, and you saw this lining up on the other side, I would be terrified. But that's not the funniest part. This picture got 1.2 million likes on Instagram alone, almost 500,000 shares on Instagram alone. I think it's amazing. It's obvious AI. However, thank the sweet Lord for legacy media. This is Newsweek. Can we zoom in just a little bit? Nobody can see that. Donald Trump has shared what is likely an AI-generated image on his Truth Social account showing him as a player for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Nobody knows for sure. It might
be. The mainstream media wants you to know that photo that we just showed you was likely an AI-generated image. So this is one of two things. Either A, Newsweek is comprised of the dumbest human beings that have ever walked the face of the earth. As a comedian once said, natural selection should happen. We're keeping too many people alive at this point. Stop putting warning labels on bottles. Stop telling people directions on how to use shampoo. Let natural course take its course. All right? Or two, they think that you are so stupid that you can't even fathom that this is not actually a real image of Donald Trump padding up to go out there on 3rd and goal to get ready to stop him in the end zone. Again, can we go back to the Newsweek article just one more time? This is what these people get paid to do. Newsweek. This is this is a real thing. Donald Trump has shared what is likely an AI-generated image. Again, they could have stopped it right there on his Truth Social account, and that'd have been clickbait, right? But they even say, showing him as a player for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Does anyone have any cognitive thought of any kind that Trump in his 70s is suiting up to play football in the NFL for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
I wish he would, man. I hope RFK helps him look like that.
This is the reason that they put that thing on coolers. It's like, don't put your kids in here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because people are this dumb in the world. I just, don't touch the electric fence. This is why we're helping too many people at this point.
Maybe people are just confused because he just suited up and went to McDonald's to work. So maybe they saw that and they're like, oh, now he's playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So anyway,
I thought it was hilarious. Shout out to ALX, man. He's the one that posted this. It absolutely was hilarious. Anyway, just when you look at the two side by side, you're just like, what in the world's going on? All right, let's do the wellness company ad really quick because the next thing is going to be a big talking point. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get your medicine. I just saw that the new Mpox variant broke out in Germany. I believe it was Germany. Yes. We are still doing October Surprise. Wouldn't it be something if they try to do it again a mere 2 weeks before the election, try to lock you down? Well, don't let them do it. Don't let them deprive you of life-saving medications for you and your family. Go to twc.health/Graham and check out the medical emergency kit and the medical emergency contagion kits from the Wellness Company. They've even got kids kits that are kids kits. They've even got kits for kids. That's hard to say. It's amazing company. That is not the Wellness Company. There we go. Wow. All right. There you go. The medical emergency kit, the contagion emergency kit. Can we scroll down a little bit? Travel emergency kit. I think they got a kids one too. Is that the kids at the bottom? Kids emergency kit. That's an EpiPen and all this stuff. Life-saving medications you need for you and your family. Go to twc.health/Graham. Promo code Graham is going to save you $30 plus get you free shipping. Never rely on the government and or doctors. Again, go to twc.health/Graham. It's twc.health/Graham, promo code Graham. All right, last night, Tim Pool. Do we got any Tim Pool fans in the chat? Comment yes or no if you like or appreciate Tim Pool's work in the chat. Tim Pool posted this last night. We're not going to play the entire thing. We're going to play a little bit of it. Long story short, Tim Pool last night said that he is quitting Timcast in real life, or Timcast IRL, whatever you want to call it. Let's play a little bit of this here, and I want to have a dialogue about this. All right, play it.
The show is over. But yeah, I think this might be the end. We are well off. It is not a financial thing. We make a lot of money. But piece by piece, the structure becomes bigger and bigger and bigger until it becomes impossible to manage. I would never call out anybody personally or individually. I would just say that, like, compounding.
Pause. I want to say really quick. Tim Pool did not put this out, and somebody else put this weird violin to it. This is just, they clipped like him talking about it from his show. So just wanted to put that out there. Play it.
Laziness. Yeah. That builds up over time, which adds more and more workload to me and Allison to get to the point where we're just like, can't do it. We do really well. And, it just, the problem is without a proper CEO who isn't hosting the show, it's not possible. Like, I think we have like 30 something employees. And so, the conversations I've had with family is like, I am under no illusions that I have the capability to make this company what it could be. And I hear all these things. No, Tim, you're wrong. Oh, come on. We've been trying to get a coffee shop open for 2 years. Yeah. Clearly, I cannot do it. I skateboard every day. Yeah, if we can't make cameras and a computer work, and despite all the previous failures we've had, there's not a single person here who can make sure that either the studio is operating or...
All right, pause it. That freaking violin's too much. All right, so long story short, Tim Pool is saying that he's done. He's done with Timcast in real life. And he states a couple things. He states that he's working, 16-hour days, 7 days a week, that's very accurate, probably. He's also stating that there's not a proper CEO for the company, and when the CEO also has to be the face of the company, it's too much. And then he also makes a statement there that the thing that has been created has become too big. All right, too big, too much of a thing. And then he also said him and Allison, which is his wife now, I believe, right? Or they're either engaged or so, I don't know if they're actually all the way married yet. So I want to have a conversation about this. One, there's a lot of people, there's 50% of people that are like, oh, Tim Pool's whining that he's got to do this. And, what a whiny, BI or whatever that would quit or something like that. And then there's the other half that's like, no, Tim, don't do this and things. And so I want to give what I think is probably a warning sign. I think you're going to probably see a lot more of this from people that you've grown accustomed to seeing all the time. And comment yes or no if you agree as I talk about this. I think that what has happened is people like me, Benny Johnson, me and him are really the only ones I can think of that are like in the same ballpark of like family life. Most of the people that you love in conservative media either A, started out young with single life, or like Dan Bongino and Glenn Beck and people, they are at the other end of the spectrum where their kids are grown and they've kind of like resurged their careers because they got nothing else to do but work on their careers because their kids are out of the house and things like this, right? So I think what you're seeing is the people like Charlie Kirk and all these other folks that started young, that started single, everything starts taking off, everything builds, then they get married, then they have a couple kids and all this other kind of stuff. I think you're seeing the pressures of how do I maintain what the audience needs and expects me to be while also being a husband, being a father, and then also maintaining my own sanity and physical health at the same time. And the answer is this stuff is hard, man. I mean, it is so much more work than the show that you guys, take in daily. It is so much more work than that. And it is constant. It is all day, every day, nonstop. Sponsors dropping off. There's no money. You got to float it. You got to take out a loan to keep things going. You got to do this. You got to do that. The normal entrepreneur things, but then on top of it, because I know there's going to be entrepreneurs in the chat and be like, that's just part of being an entrepreneur. The one exception I will say is this: you own a business and you're an entrepreneur and you're grinding. But when you have a bad day, you can go into your office and break something and nobody's going to say anything. Whereas people that are on the camera that are also having to be the CEOs, they're not allowed to have a bad day. They have to put up the, hey, how's it going, everybody? Da, 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 da. The show and the image and the perception and the this and the that, make it entertaining and make it this. Mm-hmm. How many of you have drug your butt out of bed to go work your job and you do what you got to do, but thank God there's not a camera in your face? Do you understand what I mean? I mean, just comment yes or no when I say something like that. Like think about your bad day at work where you just drag yourself out of bed because that's your responsibility. That's what you got to do. But aren't you super happy there's not a camera in front of you where tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people are watching you?
Not just watching, expecting. That's the other part of it.
Yeah.
Is the tens of thousands of people aren't just because if you have a bad day, you have a bad day and you're on camera, but they're expecting this side of you that is not the real side of you.
Well, I will say this. I will say that there's a lot of people that are fake, that are completely different people outside. But the reality is the part of me that you guys fell in love with is like 5% of me. that 5% of me that's had enough. So I'll just put myself in here because I'm not Tim Pool. And I have to be that 5% all the time. That ranter, that guy that gets upset, that stays in this, like that's what you guys expect. That's what the people want. The people want that perception, that image. Nobody gave a crap about Graham Allen when I was just having conversations. Everybody started paying attention to Graham Allen when I started going off the handles about things. So that's an image that you have to keep up. And so, again, I wish Tim Pool the best. I really do. He's still going to do his morning show, from what I understand, but his morning show is just him talking. It's not this huge production. And he probably will make half as much money as he makes now. But, I mean, the truth of the matter is, I think people are getting to a point where they realize, holy crap, I'm taking on all this extra stuff. And it doesn't benefit me or my family at all. It creates more jobs for more people, and that's great. But it's killing me, and it's killing my family, and it's killing us.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you with what you're saying, and hopefully that's not what Tim's feeling. But there is a thing when you own your own business, because I owned a bar and grill for 5 years in Oregon, and 13-hour days, 6-7 days a week. You take work home with you, even though you don't want to. Corporate taxes, payroll taxes, overhead. And you always have to put a happy face on for you do it in front of the camera. But back then I did it in front of the customers. They couldn't see that you were worried and stressed about all the stuff that you needed to, the overhead, the payroll, everything. And it's just, it does a number on you, on your psyche and your family. And that's what it is right there. You lose so much time with your family because you're so engulfed in your business venture that you never get that time back.
Yeah.
So,
and I think a lot of people don't understand. And again, I try my best to tell people more than people understand. Here's the reality. We run off of sponsors because we can't depend on social media. Right. Because social media hates us telling the truth. But what people don't understand is people just think that sponsors just pay us money just to talk. That is not true at all. Like, let's just put some simple math out there for you guys to understand. So say that a sponsor wants to pay us, let's just call it simple math. Say a sponsor wants to pay the business, not me, not Graham Allen, the business that pays for all employees, all overhead, all costs, everything. A sponsor wants to pay us $20,000 a month. All right. Now you guys might be thinking, holy crap, I'd be set for life with $20,000 a month. And that may be true, but you don't have the overhead that we have. Right. And so that's not actual money that comes in. But what people don't realize is if a sponsor pays you $20,000 a month, then we have to make the sponsor double that every month just to keep them as a sponsor. So think about it like that. Think about that pressure. Think about that pressure and I can't even imagine what Tim Pool and, I can't even imagine what the pressure Joe Rogan has with the amount of money that people pay him. Imagine having to make $500,000 a year just for one sponsor, just to be able to keep the lights on. And that's just one sponsor. There's so much back end stress just to be able to have a show, to be able to bring the truth to you guys. And so I feel for Tim. I really do, because I understand it. I really do. And so I think people are being a little too hard on him because, there are people that work far more physical jobs than we do. I will say I was in the Army for 12 years. I went to war twice, so I feel like I got a little bit more leeway in that category. But this type of work takes such a strain on you mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I think you're going to see a lot more people do this after this election. And comment below if you agree or disagree. I really think you're going to see a lot more people go, hey, we won this thing. We did our part with the country. But I got to think about my family, man, and I've got to back off a little bit. I'm not going away completely, and I'm not projecting here. I'm just saying I think you're going to see a lot more Tim Pool's things going on. So you wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the podcasters out there would take a little break after the election, win or lose. Something to just say. I need to mentally just,
get out for a little bit, and then come back refreshed a month later, 2 months later? Would you be surprised if that happened?
No. I mean, I would be surprised. These daily shows, every single day, I saw somebody say Dan Bongino's got a family too. And yeah, he does. But he's also, his family's older, like his kids are older, you know? And so I just, again, and some people are wired that way. Again, this isn't apples to oranges. This is me saying, hey, Tim, man, I think you need to do whatever you need to do. And, you know, here's the thing. If I died tomorrow, you guys would be, you know, maybe kind of upset for a week, maybe a month. And I'm not talking till, you know, and then you'd move on, right? Like you do your thing. You know, our families, man, like they don't give a crap about any of this stuff. And so I think you're going to see a lot of people that this thing has gotten a lot bigger and a lot more time consuming and a lot more soul crushing than any of us ever expected it to be. And I truly believe this in Congress, same way. That's why I believe in term limits, because you can't be a true warrior fighter forever. You can't. Even the most elite of elite fighters, they can't do it forever. NFL athletes, boxers, everybody, you can't do it forever. And so, anyway, I think, you know, hey, Tim, my hat's off to you. Go do what you got to do. And, you know, I hope you guys understand that all these personalities that you see are people. And just imagine you doing your job on your worst day. Whole world's crumbling around you. But you also have a camera in front of your face. And you have to perform for people every single day. Artists, country music artists, they will write one album, 12 songs, and not write another album for 2 years. And they'll just go tour singing the same songs over and over and over again. We have to come up with a brand new, completely unique episode every single day. I think it's harder. Maybe I'm wrong. I think it's more strenuous to do it that way. My opinion. Comment yes or no. Let me know what you think. All right. People were saying I'm planting the seeds for my departure. No, I'm not. I didn't make Tim Pool make that video. I'm just bringing it up to y'all's attention, man. Like I do think that there is a major misconception, and maybe you two can back me up on this. I think a lot of people think that we just show up, turn the camera on, and then once we're done, we leave and we just go do whatever the crap we want to do.
Nope. Doesn't happen that way. Any day of the week.
Royce, we can't hear you.
I think, I think we wish that was the case, but that's just not how things operate. You know, I think everybody wishes they can just show up for an hour and then leave and go home. And that's what you guys see on camera is just us for an hour and then you don't see us. But there's a lot of back end stuff. There's editing and clipping and posting and scheduling and managing and everything that Graham's doing, making phone calls, working with sponsors. Tony has his own jobs, posting and things like that. We all have our own positions, roles that we play that take up time that you guys don't see. You know, you guys don't see that side that we're doing behind the scenes. And Tim Pool mentioned he's got 30 employees.
That's crazy.
30 employees to manage that thing is
Wow.
a whole lot to oversee. Because him being the boss, they're all going to, if he's this, quote unquote CEO, that's 30 people day in and day out going to you trying to get answers, or at least help get answers for 30 people, right?
It definitely takes a village, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's it. Again, this is not a conspiracy thing here. I saw somebody's like, first Todd gets his own show, and now this. Graham's definitely on his way out. No.
Truth be told, we gave Graham his 30-day notice. He needs to find something else to do.
They let me know that they're overtaking.
We're tired of his screams.
Overtaking the
We're
company.
tired of his screams.
No, it's just I saw that, and it resonated with me personally because I understand. I've seen some people in there. Hey, as owners, we're owners. Like we never get a day off. We never do this, and I agree with you. except you don't have a camera in front of your face.
You see what
all
you
the time.
started? Somebody just said Tony needs to re-roof the building. I don't know how he gets it done working with you.
Ooh.
He is
You
he is the
started
most
that.
he is the most efficient roofer you've ever seen. No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's move on. Comment below. Let me know your thoughts on that. Does it make sense what I'm saying? Does it not make sense? Comment yes or no. All right. Donald Trump went on 6 Feet Under podcast with my friend, Mr. Mark Calloway, a.k.a. The Undertaker, and also my buddy Matt Lyda, works at 9 Line Apparel down in Savannah, Georgia. They got an amazing podcast going on. Matt is not a short man, but look at his legs length compared to The Undertaker's there. Matt looks like he's sitting in a tiny chair.
How tall is the Undertaker?
Like 7 foot, bro.
No way.
Yeah,
Is he really?
yeah, like 7 foot.
Holy cow.
He's a big dude. Look at
Anyway, all right. So this is 3 minutes and 25 seconds, but I thought it was really, really a good part, which is basically them saying, like, to President Trump, why are you doing this? Play it.
Ask you, I mean, you're a billionaire. Yeah. You've got a beautiful wife, very intelligent. You've got a wonderful family. You got people shooting at you. You don't have to do this.
That's true.
I mean,
I don't have to.
You don't have to do
I say,
this.
what am I doing? Sometimes, why am I doing this?
But you are.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think, people get in the media and everything else. They get everything so twisted. But it takes a special human being to sit on a podium, take a bullet, and get up, bleeding, with your hand raised in the air.
Yeah.
And let them know that, the moment right now is bigger than that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, what possesses you to put your life on the line when you don't have to? Yeah. You have a wonderful life and you've got a tremendous legacy.
Beyond that, I sometimes joke with the crowds because we get very big crowds. We had 107,000 in Butler. That's where the accident took place. We had 55,000 when we went back a couple of months later. We had just the other, 2 weeks ago, we had 107,000. We had 101,000 in California. And,
incredible.
3 days ago. Big crowds. And, abnormally big because no politician ever had these crowds. I don't even know what it is exactly. I can't explain it. Why am I getting, it's like, why? But I sometimes say, I don't have to be here with you. I could be in Monte Carlo in the beaches. I could have everything.
You'll be in Monte Carlo in the beaches.
But I'd rather be in Butler, Pennsylvania with you, And it's true, actually. Because, look, I have a lot of wealthy friends, and they go to these places, and, most of them aren't happy and all that stuff. But, I feel I have a purpose, and that's to rebuild our country. This country is doing so badly. The border, I mean, I don't know what your politics are or is, but your politics, just common sense. We have murderers pouring into our country. We have drug dealers pouring in. Just the border. There's many things wrong, but just the border. I think the border is worse than inflation. I think it's the biggest thing. To me, it's like we're now in the middle. I don't know when this is going on, and I wish you luck with it. I know you're going to get high ratings. I used to think I was a big person, but I don't feel so big standing next to this guy. This guy is big.
Well.
But my son would feel better, although he's not quite as wide as you, I will say. He will be someday. But I feel I have an obligation to do this. I had 4 great years. We had the best economy we've ever had as a country. We had the strongest borders we've ever had in recorded history. I guess they might have been very strong 1,000 years ago or something. But we had the strongest borders. We were hitting on all. I rebuilt the military, got the biggest tax cuts in history, got the biggest regulation cuts, and is really doing great. And then we had a crazy election where I did much better than the first time. And if I didn't have that, I probably wouldn't have done this.
I thought that was very good. It kind of goes, ironically, that kind of flowed into the Tim Pool conversation is, none of us have to be here. We're here, and us, especially on such a microscopic level compared to President Trump, none of us have to be here. And Trump was worldwide famous billionaire before he took this on. And I think it just speaks even more volume. Kamala Harris needs to be president. You understand what I'm saying? Donald Trump could ride off in the sunset tomorrow and not have to worry about another thing for the rest of his life. And I think you just have to ask yourself the question of the people that are trying here. I mean, we got 2 weeks left, man. And I see so many of you commenting that this election has been exhausting. And I agree with you. I've been through several now in the public eye. And this one, man, this has been rough. I mean, tomorrow I got another rally in Georgia. And then possibly going to Madison Square Garden in New York. And then I got to go to Arizona. And then we come back. I mean, it's just all the time. Plus do this show the entire time. Again, somebody said in the comment section, I thought it was very, very good point. So it's not me talking bad about you. You said it's the job that you chose to do, so suck it up. And that's very true. And that's the mentality that we have here. But people can choose not to do it one day too. And so anyway, I just think as we do these last 2 weeks, I think it's important to remember Trump does not have to do this, and more reason to go vote for him across the board. All right, let's get into Angel Studios, our last sponsor for the day. Ladies and gentlemen, we love Angel Studios. They're doing amazing work creating high-quality movie, not those old, cheesy Christian movies back in the day. You can go to angel.com/Graham Hope. And the reason I want you to go become a member is not only to support them and their amazing work, but you also will become a member of the Guild. The Guild is what you become when you become a paying member of Angel Studios. And you get a lot of perks with this. You get free tickets when the movies come out in theaters. You get instant access to all of the content that they've created. But the biggest thing is Angel Studio receives thousands of scripts for new movies, new shows every single year. But not a single movie, not a single show gets made without the voting of the Guild members to decide what movies get made. It's almost like you have a choice of what you and your family are consuming, which I think is amazing. They're the only ones doing this. So support this amazing organization. Support good content being made. Again, go to angel.com/Graham Hope and become a member of the Guild today. All right. We're going to jump a little bit here. Let's go ahead and let's go to this is Trump visiting where Hurricane Helene hit in North Carolina. This is Trump speaking on his faith. Very powerful. Let's go. There it is.
I'm here today in Western North Carolina to express a simple message to the incredible people of the state. I'm with you, and the American people are with you all the way. We're going to continue to be with you. We'll see what happens with the election. And we're, on January 20th, you're going to have, I think, a new crew coming in to do it properly and help you in a proper manner.
Yes.
To every family that lost a loved one or a loved one, this terrible storm, we ask God to give you strength and comfort and peace. You will have comfort and peace. It's been a terrible ordeal, and this area was hit about as hard as anybody's ever seen. To all those homes, and your homes have been destroyed. Many of you are rebuilding, and many of you are going to just start all over again. And the communities were ravaged and destroyed. We're praying for you, and we will not forget about you. We will never forget about you. We're going to be working with you for a long time to come to get it back together. When I'm president, I will stand with you until the communities are fully rebuilt. Every single inch of every property will be fully rebuilt, greater and more beautiful than it was before.
Again, I just want to point out the contrast there. Sincere, literally where the damage actually is, not outside somewhere in Georgia like Kamala Harris did for like 3 seconds. Again, I believe it to be sincere. Donald Trump's the man for the job. All right, we're going to jump around a little bit. I want to go to Laura Trump schooling Charlamagne, the loser. I refuse to say Charlamagne the God. Charlamagne the moron, Charlamagne the idiot. This is Laura Trump going into enemy territory. Again, it's not just Donald Trump. It is all the Trump spokespeople that are going out into enemy territory, taking on all this stuff. This is Lord Trump laying the hammer down. And I love Charlamagne at the end. He's going to be like, well, he told everybody to fight like hell. And so that's him, inciting violence. And then he even has the gall to say at the end, even when he got shot, what does he do? He stands up and say, fight, fight, fight who? Who are we fighting? This dude, how these people become multimillionaires. It has to be satanic deals. Like, it has to be. Because
Country.
that's what we're talking about.
This is my
fighting.
problem.
Pause it. Who is he talking about fighting? We're talking about fighting the evil elites. That's Charlamagne. Charlamagne is part of that group. The evil illegal immigrants and evil elites that are trying to destroy this country from within. They know exactly who he's talking about. Okay? But Charlamagne is running point guard interference here. He's running a screen route. He's putting deflections in there to try to take attention off of. Trump is talking about the evil within our country that is trying to destroy it. That's who he's talking about fighting against, and they know that.
Well, I think this is going to sound bad the way I'm going to say it, but I'm going to say it anyways. I think Trump getting shot in the face was the best thing that ever happened to him because it refocused him. It brought him back to a Christian mindset. I mean, you see the interviews he's doing with the one with Undertaker there. He was so calm. He was doing one-on-one. I mean, he's saying stuff like, I don't know where your political affiliation is, but just common sense. And then he went to North Carolina, and he's just talking like a Christian person would talk, just having empathy. And I mean, and he does get fiery when he's at his rallies and all that, but he still has this whole different demeanor now since he got shot. And it relates to a voter like me because I'm aligned more with the person when he's a lot more calm. I mean, obviously, I think it's a lot of Hollywood when he gets hyped up like that, also because he wants to get the crowd hyped up. But a Donald Trump like this, who's relatable, just looks like a person who wants to better this country, is who I'm voting for. And you see the contrast when Kamala's in front of a mic, she can't come up with an answer because she gets flustered and she just can't. I mean, it's
Laura handles it better than me. I wouldn't be able to have a hour-long conversation with morons. And the reason why, it would eventually get to a point where he would say something stupid like that. And I just be like, can I ask you a question? Can you chew gum and blink at the same time? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be able to not, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be able not to ask questions. Can I give you the ads, Fab, and just see how you score? Cause I'm curious. I want to see. Anyway. All right, let's move into the part about this that we want to talk to you about, the actual state of the race. This is where we remind you to hit the like button, hit the share button. This came out from The Hill, an article stating this: what if Joe Biden was the better candidate all along?
Wow. Wow.
That was yesterday. What if?
That's crazy.
What if? And why would they start asking these questions?
I'm pretty sure Joe Biden right now is the happiest guy in the world.
Dude, Joe Biden is sabotaging. He's sabotaging on purpose.
Yeah,
when he is lucid, he is sabotaging on purpose, okay? You notice how he's disappeared like the past couple days. Like they got him locked up, like in a coma or something, okay? What if Joe Biden was the better candidate all along? This comes with Karl Rove saying this about Kamala Harris's polls. From The Hill also, Karl Rove, Harris, quote, flatlining in polls while Trump rises. The Dems are in full panic mode. All right. And it's bad when lesbian Mark Cuban has this to say. Mark Cuban has now said, this comes for us from Leading Report, breaking, Mark Cuban says he would be willing to work with the Trump administration if asked, like they would ask him, saying, quote, I'm America first. My, what a changing tone, lesbian Mark Cuban.
What does he even think the Trump administration would want?
Can we show? Look, this is normal Mark Cuban. Okay, can we that's what Mark Cuban looks like. Can we go back to the video of him? This is Kamala, lesbian Mark Cuban. Do you see the difference? Go back to the other photo. Go back to the other photo.
Royce, you're right. It's those thick glasses.
Go back to the other photo.
It is the glasses.
This is America First Mark Cuban, and let's show lesbian Mark Cuban. I'm telling you. I mean, it just. That's Marcana Cuban. Marcela Cuban. Either way, things are not looking good. Turning Point Action has given us some initial data to some of the early voting in Arizona. This comes straight from Turning Point Action. As of yesterday, Republicans are outpacing Democrats in Arizona in early voting by 28,742 votes. In 3 days, Republicans have increased returns by 1.7% statewide since 10/19. Maricopa County is up. Mohave, good luck. I don't know how to say some of these things. Yuma, Nahavo? Graham, there's a Graham County in Arizona. That's awesome. I didn't know that either. And then you can see it here. Now, there are some still blue things here, but across the board, according to this, right now in early voting in Arizona, Republicans are up by 28,000 votes. Can we Google real quick, how many votes did Joe Biden win Arizona? Just Google real quick because I can't remember. I can't remember how many votes it was. How many votes did Joe Biden win Arizona? Let's just look at this real quick. Anybody got it?
Looking.
Anybody got it? I know it was close in Arizona.
Enhance.
Does anybody remember in the chat offhand? Less than 10,000. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was like 6,000 or 7,000 votes is how much he won the election by.
In Arizona?
Yeah.
Wasn't Arizona the state that just said that illegals can vote over there? That they let in...
Arizona?
I thought so. Wasn't there Arizona the one that said that their court had ruled that it was too difficult to not let the illegal immigrants vote, and it was going to be somewhere around like 90,000 illegal immigrants were going to be able to cast a vote?
I didn't see.
Or was that a different state I'm thinking about?
I mean, I know that
Nevada maybe or California. No. I thought so. I could look it up.
I thought that I could find it on here, but I can't. All right, sorry guys, I can't find the exact number, but I know that it was under 12, under 10,000. So the fact, did you find it? Does it say it? I can't read that. What does it say?
Well, I'm looking.
Oh, there you go.
Right there.
That's popular vote though.
Is that not the?
Yeah, so it looks like, less than 12,000. There you go. Good job, Royce. Less than 12,000. Look at that. Go to the percentage. Zoom in a little bit. They can't see that. Zoom in. All right. Joe Biden won at 49.36. So he won it by 0.3%. 0.3. Okay. So you look at it like that. The difference of the election was less than 12,000 votes. Now go back to the Turning Point Action thing. All right. So as of right now, the early voting, go all the way up to the top. Republicans are outpacing Democrats by 28,000 votes so far in early voting. This is a good sign. Obviously, the race is not over. If you're in Arizona, you need to go vote. If you haven't signed up for Turning Point Action 100 to go pound pavement in Arizona, you need to do so.
I was right. It says Arizona High Court rules nearly 98,000 people whose citizenship hadn't been confirmed can vote to the full ballot. That was September 21st.
Are those people that are in process?
I don't think so.
Because citizenship hasn't been confirmed. That's interesting wording. That's almost like people that are in the process of citizenship. We'll look at more into that. Anyway, the point is, this is a good sign. But everything we're going to tell you guys here, it's looking good. But this is more of a thing of you need to keep the foot on the gas. You need to keep it going. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep looking at some polls here. This is Kalshi. All right, Kalshi now has Donald Trump at the highest point, period. You guys need to go to Kalshi.com and make you some money by betting on this election. Apparently you can bet on elections now, and Kalshi.com has the best information. Kalshi is now projecting that Donald Trump has an 18% chance higher, 18 points higher of winning the election, 59% to 41% on Kalshi. And I don't know about you guys, but I believe the betting odds more than I believe the polls. Because I believe people that are putting their money in stuff, I believe them more than people that are just saying, oh, yeah, this or whatever. Money talks, and the bettors are saying Trump's up by 18% right now.
I believe in my soul that this red wave is going to be way more drastic than the first wave that he had when he got elected.
Well, I hope so too. But the big thing is this, and everyone knows this. Donald Trump has said this too. If we win Pennsylvania, we win the whole thing. So check out this article. I believe this is also from The Hill. Maybe not.
I think this is Newsweek, actually.
Okay, Newsweek. All right, thank you. All right. Pennsylvania voter registration ends. What polls show about Harris versus Trump? All right, let's go down a little bit. Essentially, 9 million people have now registered to vote in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania has a population of over 12 million, so let's call it, this is 87%. 87% of the population of Pennsylvania is registered to vote. Obviously, some of those are kids and whatnot. This is the interesting thing here. Polls show that the race is now virtually neck and neck. However, Donald Trump now has a slight edge over Kamala Harris. Hang on, let me make this a little bigger for myself here. Trump was leading President Joe Biden in Pennsylvania before he exited the race in July. Since then, Harris has held a slight edge, but as of early Monday, the Republican nominee was leading by a slim 0.3 points. According to poll averager 538, Trump holds 57.9% support in the state, while Harris holds 57.3%. Meanwhile, pollsters Nate Silver shows that Harris and Trump are now tied, 58% each, and Real Clear Politics shows that Trump is ahead by 0.8 points. Ladies and gentlemen, we are winning, but this fight in Pennsylvania is going to be a major fight. If you live in Pennsylvania, you better freaking get out there and go vote, because Trump, I believe Trump's going to win Pennsylvania, but it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. I don't see him like landsliding Pennsylvania. I just don't. I think it's going to be a fight. I think Pennsylvania is going to be a thing here. And here's the thing that we have to worry about. Okay, at the end of the day, this is Tarrant County in Fort Worth, Texas, where I used to live. These are people saying that they're voting for Donald Trump, but when the paper ballot prints out for you to turn in, it has a different candidate on there. Watch this.
James Carpenter. I just voted in the wide settlement election. I voted for one president, checked it on the video screen. When I got the paper ballot, it had the other candidate's name on it. Check your paper ballots, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
My name is Lucas Clark, and I voted here at White Settlement Library in Fort Worth. I was in line for about 45 minutes, and there were two people that came out and said that their ballots were changed. So everybody double check your printed out ballots.
Thank you.
And that's a good place to end it on. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I think momentum is on our side. We have Kamala Harris on her heels. It's the 15th round, okay? Now is not the time to play it safe and try to just wait out the bell. We need to go for the knockout. And so now is the time, all gas, no brakes.
So I have a question. What happens in that instance then if their ballot was changed? I mean, do they re-vote? I mean, what happens? Do they toss out that one?
Well, yeah, you go to them and be like, hey, this isn't what I voted. Like, tear this crap up and let me do it again.
Yeah, but what's to say that the Democrats don't say, hey, your guy voted, it says on the machine you voted for Harris, so that's what it is.
Well, you don't turn in the vote. Like rip it up. I'm doing it again. This isn't who I voted for. Like I mean, they can't force you to submit the paper ballot if you say, no, this is wrong. This isn't who I voted for. Like, this is not it.
That's crazy.
Well, I thought when you put it in the machine, that was you submitting it.
No, so what's supposed to happen is the machine counts, yes, but then they also have a paper ballot as well. So when I vote, I get this little thing. It's almost like a Scantron.
Right.
You put it in there, it sucks it up, and you hit your little thing, and then it'll calculate it in the computer, yes, but then it also spits that freaking thing back out, and then you take it over, and oftentimes to this older lady, and you hand the thing in, right?
Yep.
So it's two. It's two things. That's why they say vote in person. For that reason, because you know what you hit on the computer screen, but then I think that's very good advice. Look at the freaking sheet of paper before you turn it in. You know, don't just hit. I mean, for me, it's pretty freaking easy, man. They literally make it dummy proof. Vote all Republican. And it just fills it out for you. But you got to check. You got to check and you got to make sure, man. And so when it prints that paper ballot out and you hand that paper ballot in, just look at it. Look at it. The end.
That's why it's so dangerous, though. That I mean, how many states have mail-in ballots? I mean, like Oregon. You can just mail in your ballot.
Some people say that they don't get a paper ballot. That again, we do that here in South Carolina.
Right.
I mean, they give you. It looks like a little Scantron sheet, and it sucks it up in the computer.
Yeah,
and you vote, and then once you're done voting, it's like, are you sure you're done? Like, yep. And it'll print it back out, and then you take it and you hand it to the old lady. She puts it in the box.
That's one of the issues that I think. I mean, I do agree with giving the state back control, but I think that should be a federal mandate that every single state needs to have voter. You know, show your ID, make sure you are who you are, and have the voting machine so they can absolutely 100% be voting for the person you want to vote for, not dropping ballots off in a mailbox or a ballot box. Because, you know, they can cheat at that point. They can pick up everything and just dump whatever votes in there they want. So.
That's interesting. Some people are like, once it sucks it up for us, it doesn't give it back. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's how it is in Florida. You just go to your little booth, you fill it in with the pencil, and you stick it in the machine, and that's it.
Really? You do the pencil. So here, I mean, literally, they give you the little thing. Yeah. It sucks it up. You hit it on the computer, and then it spits it back out, and you hand it to this old woman, and they put it in the ballot.
Machine, it's gone.
They put it in the ballot box, you know, and so the reason they do that is if the computers say this, and then they count the ballots, the actual physical ballots, and they don't match. You see what I'm saying? Like it's I don't know why everybody doesn't do that. It seems like a really good safeguard to me, like, you know, like kind of thing. All right. Anyway, that's all we got for this show, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you liked it. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that share button. And again, we went from 2 weeks to slow the spread to 2 weeks to save the country in 4.5 years. That's where we are. 2 weeks to save this nation. It is time to go all gas, no brakes. Buckle it down. Let's pray this thing out, and then let's do super questions. Whew. All right. Dear Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the opportunity that we have to use the tools you've given us to fight for this country and fight for the soul of this nation. Lord, we pray for everyone who may be dealing with even more real life issues right now, all the victims of the hurricane, people that are dealing with marital issues, physical health issues. You know, Todd's sick, and there's so many other people that are dealing with so many things right now. Anxiety, depression, addiction, and the list goes on and on and on. Lord, we would be remiss if we didn't take this opportunity to thank you for your grace. Thank you for your mercy. Lord, we know that all we need to do is call out to you to come into our hearts and make our hearts new today and every day moving forward so we may have the opportunity to spend eternity with you. Lord, we thank you for your grace and your mercy, and we thank you for sending your son Jesus to die on the cross for us. Lord, we've got a wild 2 weeks coming up, and you know how it ends, and we trust in you ultimately. Lord, we thank you for your grace. We thank you for your love. We thank you for your mercy. Amen. All right, Let's do super questions. Let's do this thing. I love how we all put the hats back on like in unison, like, all right, we're ready again. Let's go.
Suit back up. All right, here's the first one.
All right, this is from Tiger Lily. Question for Graham. If the hyena is elected, what should service members, dependents expect? Husband is deployed right now. Please pray for him and the boat.
The hyena. We should start calling her.
I mean, I think it's going to be horrible. I'm just being honest with you. I know so many buddies that are at their 20 years that, you know, their contract actually took them to like year 22, 23, and they're like, nope, I'm out. Like, I'm done. Like, I'm retiring right now. I think that our military is in serious trouble. I really do. And I think we need a total and complete overhaul. Here's the thing. People have to realize most of the people that were involved in OIF, OEF, when the war was actually going on, you know, call it 09 at the latest in Afghanistan, when, you know, it was still all out war fighting. I mean, that's freaking 4 years away from being 20 years ago. So all these war fighters that were there, we're all out, man. like everyone that's coming out now, all the drill sergeants, all the new lieutenants and captains and all this stuff, many of them have never been to combat. They've never seen anything. It's a whole new wave because all of us who fought in the wars, we're old now. And I mean, it's crazy for me to admit that, but dang, man, I mean, I went to Iraq the first time when I was 18 years old, and I turned 38 this year. I mean, you know, and so it's a whole new wave of the military, and I'm worried about it if Kamala Harris gets in. All right, let's go. All right, this is from Renegade. 14th. Hey, that's funny. 14 days to slow the spread. It's now become 14 days. Light minds. I love that. That's awesome. Trump 2024. All right. I_am_Linda. I'm in Pennsylvania. I wanted to vote early, but there are no locations in my county. I'm going to be forced to use those Dominion voting machines on election day. Is there anything else I can do? That's weird. There's no early voting in your county. I would double check that. That doesn't seem correct to me. You know, most places in early voting, if you live in a county, there's one spot, or they can join counties together. So I don't know. I would check I'll look into it, but that doesn't seem right.
Just Google early voting in and then put your county, and the county website should come up, and they should have addresses with the locations that you can. You might not be seeing it, but it should be on your county website.
Somebody said, who's going to carry the boat? The boat crew, Graham. I wasn't on a boat. The Navy or Marine person is saying that. I don't know. All right. Anyway, I don't even think I ever saw a boat in the Army. Ever. All right. Moving on. Freedom, spelled wrong, lemons. All right. Man, that's tough. I walked away from a 13-year career to go to a 9-to-5, making a heck of a lot less money to be a better father, husband. But I will say my family is so much happier being there is so
important. Maybe. It's so
yeah,
important.
I think they're
so
saying
important.
family is much happier being they are so important. Maybe.
Yeah, you run out of room.
Again, yes. I think you're going to see a lot of people that for the past decade, they have given every moment of every day to not to fight to make money for a business. Again, I understand you got to make money, an entrepreneur, and I love it. But this is not fighting a fight to expand business, to make more money. This is fighting evil all day, every second of the day, literally. Like, I mean, it is different. It is different. And anyway, so yeah, I get it. I know a lot of people that have done that actually.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've shown videos of, I mean, before, I think you can agree to this, Graham. People were going into the military because they were patriotic. They wanted to serve their country. Now we have people going in there worrying about if they can put their makeup on and, you know, take their skirts with them. And, you know, it's not the same military that we used to have before. And that's scary. And it's just, you know, if any of the big countries or some of the countries that don't agree with us want to attack us, we'd be in a world of hurt right now.
No, we'd lose a war. All right, next. We will lose a war. If we go to World War III right now, we will lose. I mean, sorry. All right, next. Maggie, 9193. Thank you for everything you guys do to entertain us. Just take care of yourselves first. Thanks, Maggie. Appreciate it. Next. All right, Manly. Nope. I'm not doing it. I'm sad to see Tim leave, but if you guys or Dan Bongino leave, we riot.
I'll say it. Manly Tatas 30. There you go.
Why?
Again, I appreciate that. I really do. And it means the world to me that you guys feel that way. But at the same time, there's also even more added pressure to that. It's like, okay, what if I do want to retire one day? Like, I mean, it does add some stress, but I do appreciate it. It's not lost on me. And I feel like a lot of people don't say this enough. It is not lost on me that many of you have been around since I was screaming into a phone in a beat up F-150, calling myself the Daily Rants guy back in the day, which is so cringe now that I think about it. Good Lord, I was so stupid. Either way, it is not lost on me that you guys have been here for almost 10 years, some of you. And I'm very appreciative of that. You have changed my life. And I hope that by inviting me into your lives, it has enriched your lives in some way. So anyway, all right, let's keep going. All right, Angelum Durham. Graham, if it wasn't for Dear America and Bongino, I would not have a leg to stand on when defending the right side of America. I appreciate you guys so much. You guys are my number one podcast. Thank you, Angela. That's super, super nice. I don't know how smart it is over Bongino, but, I appreciate that very much. All right. Is this supposed to be Harley Girl, I guess? Yeah. All right, guys, I'm so sorry for the confusion yesterday. I work as a crane operator, and I'm doing a job in a really nasty plant where everything is black with dust. Remember that one yesterday? We were like, what in the world is this crane operator talking about? Okay, got it. Thank you. All right, Cheryl. Wouldn't it be hilarious if all the Dems write in Biden and he gets more votes than Harris? Yeah, it would be. It's not going to happen, but that would be. All right. Tarzan Cowboy. Man, oh man. Y'all come
That's
up
a
with
good one, actually.
The most interesting thing. Can you imagine a cowboy swinging in a jungle like Tarzan? All right. Either way. Thought came to me this morning. What if Kamala doesn't care about the Al Smith dinner and all that due to the new DOD directive and not worried about losing control due to that? Again, this DOD directive thing is very interesting to pay attention to. And so, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see if Trump wins this thing, if an actual peaceful transfer of power actually happens. Again, just if we win November 5th, the battle is not over, folks. One, we got to keep Trump alive till Inauguration Day, and then we got to get through Inauguration Day. So, we can celebrate for 24 hours, the Nick Saban rule. Celebrate for 24 hours, but then we got to get ready for the next thing there. All right.
It is interesting that they passed that directive right around election time because, what are they setting up? Like you just said, see if there's a peaceful transfer of power. What if they did do that to be able to use that directive to keep all the Trumpers out there at check?
Arrested.
At bay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, next. Tiger Lily. Also, it's my birthday on Thursday, and Graham screamed earlier, so happy birthday to me.
There you go.
There you go. Happy early birthday. All right. Lauren Cully. There's a video of a small town in Texas showing some rigging when voting. It said I guess they voted from Trump. Oh, it switched them from Trump to Kamala. Check your ballots. Yes. Not a small. Yes. It's in Tarrant County. That's essentially Fort Worth, Texas. That's Keller. That's North Richland Hills, things like that. But yeah, we did show it. Yeah. So check the paper ballots. For those of you who get your paper ballots back, check the paper ballots. Forever Set Free. My brother lives in Pennsylvania. I called him yesterday and said, you have to vote. Your state is the most important state. He says, no worries. They will be going to vote for Trump and all his neighbors too. Thank you. If you live in Pennsylvania, you need to be hitting up every single person to go vote. Pennsylvania is the state, ladies and gentlemen.
And vote early.
It is the state. All right. Lauren, again, how can we count all the votes for an American Idol winner in seconds, but we can't count the votes for President Trump in one day? Seems fishy. I agree. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand. All right.
Just a couple more.
Little Mama Lee, did you see the SC Republican GOP Facebook page? The first day of early voting, they already had voters submitting multiple ballots. It happened in Marion County. Me and the South Carolina GOP are not fans of each other, so it doesn't shock me at all. Drew McKissick can go kick a bucket for all I'm concerned. And so he's the GOP chairman. Just anyway, whatever. It doesn't shock me at all. A Patzer? What is...
Yep, a Patzer.
Yeah, I guess.
I voted in North Carolina Sunday. I had my ID. They never looked at it. That may be how they'll try to cheat. Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Last one.
All right, Garrett Dover. So when Trump wins, Harris has to certify it? Question mark.
Oh,
ha, ha, ha.
That's right.
Again,
Yeah.
that's what I said. Like,
Yeah.
and so just because we win November 5th does not mean the battle is over. All right. That's the end of the show. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to hit that follow button. Oh, we just got one more last second.
There it is. Boom.
Please explain why we need to vote early. I did vote early here in Georgia, but I am so nervous they're going to do something with the early votes. We're voting early because that's what the Dems do. And what they do is they stockpile these votes because they're expecting Republicans to wait until the last minute. And then that's when you have all these emergency dumps and things like that come into play and things. And so it's fighting them the way they're fighting us. So what we can't do, as we learned in 2020, is we can't have 95% of Republicans go out and vote on November 5th. You see what I'm saying? Like we can't do that. And the good thing about this is we're getting real-time data. Okay, so we're getting real-time data. Okay, in Arizona, as of yesterday, 28,000 more people have voted Republican than Democrat. We now have that data to show throughout the whole thing. So if on November 5th, 500,000 freaking votes show up from somewhere, now we have, no, Jack. Look at all these days where Republicans are up. Where did all these mail-in paper ballots voting early come from? It is a safeguard. It really is. We cannot have 95% of Republicans voting on November 5th because 70% of Democrats vote early. So it actually is another safeguard that does make it harder for them to cheat. It really does. It really does because we're getting counts in real time, as we just showed you earlier in the show. All right. That's all we got for this episode. Okay. Tomorrow, I'm going to a prayer and faith kind of thing with the president. Faith leaders and pastors and myself. I was honored enough to be invited to it. We're going to go and have some conversations about the direction of this country after November 5th. And so I will not be here tomorrow. Todd was going to lead the show. But as we told you guys this morning, Todd woke up sick. We don't know how sick he is. As far as I know, we hadn't heard anything back from him yet. His show probably isn't going to happen today because he is sick and we don't know about tomorrow yet. Please pay attention to my social channels. We will update you guys on if the show's going down with Todd or not tomorrow, because I'll be out of pocket for obvious reasons Wednesday. Thursday, the show will happen as normal. And then next week, goodness, me and Todd will both be in Arizona all week doing the show from Arizona. It'll be 6:00 Arizona time when we go live as opposed to 9:00 here. But pay attention to my social media channels. We will update you on the situation for the show tomorrow. Todd is sick. We don't know how sick he is, but we will update you as soon as we find out. So tomorrow's kind of up in the air. Pay attention to the socials. But Thursday, we'll be back just like normal. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate every single one of you. Tony, say goodbye.
Hasta mañana, everybody.
Roy, say goodbye.
See you guys tomorrow. Maybe.
All right. Hopefully.
see.
Yeah. Pay attention to the socials. All right. Again. All right. And as always, I'm Graham Allen. Stay awake, not woke. Trust in God, not the government. And as always, stay free.